So, I guess it's first time streaming on YouTube, I guess. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird streaming on YouTube. So I've streamed everything from Facebook to Instagram to everything else. So it's kind of weird. So I must guess it's like I'm used to this. Pretty much used to it. Okay, so I'm gonna react to relaxing music. Now, I'm gonna react to something else. Creepypasta Rosie.
Good evening. I wanted to start this video out by asking a simple question. What does it mean to trust somebody? Well, trust is defined as firm belief in the reliability, truth, or strength of someone or something. Something. Well, what about trusting someone that you've never met? Someone that you've only talked to through messages? Well, that's a whole different story. But suppose these messages were coming through something as harmless as, let's say, a Nintendo GameCube. You may be wondering, what on earth am I talking about? Well, allow me to clear it up by telling you a tale of a girl named Caitlin and how her trust had betrayed her. Enjoy. Caitlin and her mother liked to spend most of their springtime visiting various garage sales in their town together. Even though it was rare that they ever found anything useful, it was mostly a time for mother and daughter bonding. It to them had become somewhat of a ritual. One day, they visited a local garage sale being run by a husband and wife. They looked about the garage sale, and it was the same useless junk. Baby clothes, old furniture, nothing they hadn't seen before. But then in the corner, Caitlin spotted what appeared to be a GameCube in the game Animal Crossing. Something drew Caitlin's interest to it, and she just had to ask her mother if she could get it. Her mother told her that she would. They approached the man at the table and told him that they would like to buy it. He looked at it and nodded. He began to tell them that it was his daughter's, and that Animal Crossing was her favorite game. Caitlin then asked out of curiosity, then why is she selling it? He looked at her for a moment, and finally said, because she passed away of cancer. Caitlin and her mother looked at each other. They told the man that he should keep it as a keepsake, but he argued with them and insisted that his daughter would have wanted someone else to have it. So they bought it and took off. Caitlin had never played Animal Crossing before, but she had heard a little bit about it, and she thought it sounded fun. She also thought that the characters looked really cute. So she put in the memory card, and she booted up the game. She saw that there was already a town created that was simply called Happy. Out of respect, she didn't delete it, but simply made her own character. She began to play, and she enjoyed it. She liked talking to the villagers and planting flowers around the town. After a while of playing, she finally ventured back to the gyroid to save, when she noticed that she had a letter in her mailbox. She opened it, and it said, "Do you like my town? From Rosie." This confused Caitlin, because none of the villagers was named Rosie, but she figured that this was just a character that talks to you by mail, so she decided to respond. She wrote back saying, "Yes, I do. It's very lovely." Caitlin then returned to the gyroid, and there was another letter. It read, Thank you very much. Perhaps you could plant some flowers in A3, which is a location on the map. Caitlin then realized that this must be a character that tells you where to plant things and to liven up the town. So whenever Caitlin would play, Rosie would tell her where to plant things, and Caitlin would do as she was told. But sometimes, Rosie would ask other things, like what is your favorite color, and what are your goals in life, and other personal questions. Caitlin, in a weird way, saw Rosie as a friend. In the following weeks, Caitlin would soon become busy with school, and soon decided to stop playing Animal Crossing for a while. After about a week, Caitlin decided to check on her town in Animal Crossing, only to be greeted by a note in her mailbox. It read, "Where have you been?" from Rosie. Caitlin responded to it, saying that she had been busy. A letter popped up this time. It said, "The villagers are unhappy. Is that what you want?" Caitlin began to feel guilty. She didn't understand why, but she felt like she had done something bad and had to fix it. She began to play Animal Crossing any chance she had. It began to consume her life. Caitlin's brother Jacob began to notice his sister's obsession with the game Animal Crossing. His parents assured him that she would grow tired of the game sooner or later, and to just let her have her fun. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He sensed that his sister had changed, not in appearance, but it was something that he couldn't put his finger on. All he knew is that he had to get her to stop playing that game. So one day, when his sister was finally out of the house, he started up Animal Crossing. He noticed by watching her play that she spent most of the time planting flowers and trees, so he took out the axe and began his work. He cut down every tree he could find and trampled every flower in sight. He knew that this is what needed to be done to put an end to his sister's obsession. After his work was done, he shut off the game and left with a feeling of satisfaction. Late that night, Caitlin started up Animal Crossing and was shocked by what she saw. Holes everywhere, flowers trampled, and no trees. Caitlin was speechless as she surveyed the entire town. Once she returned to her home, she was greeted with 2 letters. The first read, "My town is ruined because of you." And the second said, "I'm unhappy, and I don't want to be unhappy anymore." Caitlin sent back assuring Rosie that she can fix it. She receives another note saying, "Do you promise?" Caitlin responded, saying, "Yes, I promise." Another message came up, and it said, "Do you trust me?" Again, Caitlin responded, "Yes." Just then, Caitlin stood up. She walked her way outside and to the shed. She surveyed the room, and she was drawn to an axe on the wall. She slowly approached it and took it in her hands. She turned around and made her way back into the house. Police began to get reports of a husband, wife, and kids that haven't been attending their jobs or school for about a week. So a couple of officers were sent to investigate when they were shocked by what they would find. Reports showed that when they arrived, they found a husband, wife, and son that had been brutally murdered in their beds by what appeared to be an axe. They also found a girl covered in blood, staring into a TV while playing the video game Animal Crossing. One of the officers eventually spoke out and asked, "Who are you?" The girl then stood up, turned to face the officers, and said, "My name is Rosie."
What?
Well, that ending was a bit disturbing. A bit disturbing indeed. So again, what does it mean to trust somebody? And how far would you go for the people that you trust? To most people, trust is seen as a good thing. But to some, another's trust could be used as an instrument of evil. That's all for now. Make sure to catch me next time.
Now,
Hey guys, how's it
let's
going?
investigate another video creepypasta true story behind Eka Village from Animal Crossing Leaf.
Although, this isn't actually a creepypasta. It's a post on a forum that has some interesting points about a certain village in a particular game. This is the dream town, Ica Village, in the game Animal Crossing New Leaf. I haven't played the game myself, so unfortunately it doesn't mean much to me, but a friend of mine recommended this read, so, yeah. Now as always, turn out the lights, get comfortable, and let the story begin. personally know the creator of Ica Village, and I want to share with you all about the true story behind this village. I think this story deserves more recognition. It is about the creator's life. Basically, it's about a girl who was raped, and how she suffered from many disorders like schizophrenia, personality disorders, etc. I'll explain more about the details below. This topic consists of sensitive subjects, just a heads up to you all. When you first wake up inside the dream, you'll see the strange black and white patterns on the ground all over the place. When you move around and look
I don't
at these
have time for
patterns,
this.
you'll notice that they'll make your eye vision a bit strange. This symbolizes the point of view in her eyes in her early childhood. She sees things differently from others. Waking up from the bed, to see these patterns symbolizes how she had awoken from childbirth, and every day of wakings as a baby. She grew up to there are flowers when she was a child.
That's boring.